Hey everyone, you're watching The American Plumber, and today we're going to compare my $15,000 jetter against my $500 budget jetter. Now the concept of a sewer jetter is to clean a sewer line that's clogged. It's got a lot of advantages to a cable machine, which can be pretty limited on what it's able to do. A cable machine is dependent on being able to turn its way through the line and make those turns, and it's powered by the motor, and they're usually limited to about 50 to 100 feet. They can do a pretty good job on roots, and they'll try to cut them out, but when it comes to soft clogs like paper, they're not very effective because they don't have the liquid to help flush things through. Now, with a hydro jetter, you can usually get hoses to run up to 200 feet or longer, and you're using water pressure, so it really helps flush the waste down the line. I think they're probably one of the best tools for cleaning a sewer line. Today we're going to show you the difference between a budget $500 jetter that I keep on all of our vans and the big dog, the $15,000 custom built jetter that we have at the shop just in case we need the big guns. Here's a good example right here. This is a pipe on my irrigation ditch that doesn't have any outlet. If you tried to cable it, your cable machine would just end underneath the dirt. The jetter, using the water pressure, should be able to blast itself through and clean out the other end. It's a good scenario that I just so happen to have at my place here. So let's give it a shot. Now, jetters have different tips. Some of them rotate, some have more heads forward and more back. They'll pull themselves down the line. Some are meant for root cutting, and you can even hook up a pressure washer wand onto these and use it for cleaning surfaces or hydro excavating. I just dug a 5-foot deep hole for a pole I'm putting in with this machine, and the little machines just don't have enough power to do that. So I will try to show you kind of a comparison on the amount of power. But first, let's just show you how a jetter works and go from there. Now on a $15,000 jetter, we've got a reservoir because this can pump 8 gallons per minute at 3,000 PSI. And we've got a lot going on. We've got the pulse, which can help pulse it through a sewer line if it gets stuck. The bigger motor, bigger gas can, we can operate without water if we need to, like we're gonna do right now. I can hook a hose up in there so it fills, but also you can just operate it without a hose. Whereas like the small setup, you need to be hooked up to a hose. We can go down to an 1/8 inch for cleaning kitchen drains. We've got a 3/8 hose for cleaning big lines. We can even go up to a 1/2 inch if we needed to really do like hydro excavation. And that's a 200-foot reel, so we can go out to about 300 feet with this, no problem. And what's nice, we'll run from our trailer with this blue hose out to our work area, and then we'll hook up our cart, and we've got a valve to operate it right there on site. So we can turn the valve off, and it recirculates the water so that this pump doesn't overheat. Because if it did, it could ruin it. So now we're gonna get over here by where we're working. And this is the beauty of this, is you can park your trailer and then bring your jetter to your work zone. We're gonna stick this in with the tip. Let's see what happens. And then we're conveniently, right from where I'm working, turn this valve. See what happens. Right out the other end. Let's see it go. And we'll turn this off. and boom, it recirculates that water back there so we can just go and clean wherever we need to. When we're done with our job, we simply are gonna reel up this. Lock the reel. And we're done. And just like that, I mean, it cleaned out that pipe very instantly, and it was buried, not under too much stuff, but it was buried. And now I could almost assure you, it has a turn, but you can see light. Clean as a whistle. That's $15,000 jetter will get you. Here we've got a Predator 2.4 gallon per minute, and I believe it's 3,000 PSI or 2,400 PSI pressure washer. That's all it is. It's just a pressure washer. And I keep these on all of my guys' vans with 100 feet of 1/4 inch tubing and a jetter tip. Now, this is way less impressive than the $15,000 jetter, but this whole setup might be $595, $695, you know, under $1,000. And it's very portable. Notice the other one's on a trailer. This one we just fold it up and we stick it in a van like this, right next to all our other machines, because space is very limited in these. As you can see, this van is kind of maxed out. We couldn't fit a jetter like that, so we keep this on all the vans. Now, it's probably only got enough power to pull about 100 feet, but if you've got those clogs that are like a lot of buildup of paper, this is going to work a lot better than a cable machine. And we can run a 1/4 inch an 1/8 inch hose off that and do kitchen drains as well. Is this thing as impressive when you roll up to a job? No way. Is it way cheaper and I can put one of these on every van without breaking the bank? For sure. So you'd be surprised how few times we have to bring out the big guns. I would say that almost never. If you do need it, you definitely need it, and there's no comparison. If you need the big machine, it is what it is, because I can clean up to a 10-12 inch pipe with that, no problem. These are limited, you know, anything past 4 inches, it's just not going to really do it. And these aren't necessarily designed to be run this way, so it doesn't have the bypass. You could burn your pumps out pretty easily with this machine. It's supposed to put water through here if it gets too hot. I don't think it works very well, and we have burned these pumps up. Now, for the price, to have it on the job, to clean drains, and they last generally over a year anyways, I have no complaints. I would say it's very worthwhile to have on the van. Again, there is also that, you know, it's just not as impressive to the customer when you pull up to a job and you've got this little pressure washer versus the big jetter. You know, the big jetter is just gonna do a much superior job. Now, we have a great one model that's a bit bigger than this that I think is like the perfect happy medium. It's got a cart reel that I bought separately. I do run the valve, even though I probably shouldn't, because it could burn the pump out. And it's over $1,000 to set that one up, probably closer to $2,000. But that one does just about everything. It's got enough power to pull out to 200 feet. You can go down to an 1/8 inch hose. And it's very impressive, okay? I love the Honda, but it's just not practical for a lot of people's budgets. So I'm trying to help you figure out what you want to put on your van, and we're comparing the two. Let's go ahead and fire this guy up. Not bad. I think we need to do them side by side. Let's see what you think. It's time. We're going to test the two side by side here as far as how they shoot straight out of these 1/4 inch hoses. Let's give it a whirl. How do I want to do this? Fire this one up first. Significantly different.